Welcome, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Michael Fletcher. Welcome to this, as we're going to be recapping WWE, as we're going to be recapping the Friday Night Smackdown and give you the preview to tomorrow night's No Way Out pay-per-view. I am along with Anthony Florio and Michael Bullock. We're going to get things started right now. The first thing of the night was a promo segment, started with AJ, interrupted by CM Punk, Vicky Guerrero, Dolph Ziggler. There was a whole host of others. Daniel Bryan and Sheamus. We're just going to go very quickly with this. Anthony, just give us a summary of what you thought about it.
One of the best opening segments ever on Friday Night SmackDown. Everybody played their part very well, set the table nicely for the match and for the main event of No Way Out. So,
please. Why is this doing this to me tonight? Yeah. Michael Bullock?
Oh, alright, I thought we lost you there for a moment, alright, this was definitely the best, in terms of non-wrestling, this was the best segment of the night. Everybody played their part out well, set the table for the opening matchup of the night, so let's get right to it.
The opening matchup was indeed Dolph Ziggler and Daniel Bryan versus WWE Champion CM Punk and World Heavyweight Champion Sheamus. Dolph Ziggler and Daniel Bryan won the match as Dolph Ziggler rolled up the World Heavyweight Champion for the 3 count. I say it was a 3-star fight, definitely one of the best fights of the night, without a doubt. Anthony?
fight of the night for me, most definitely. I agree with the rating, 3 stars. Well, solid wrestled match. Great effort all around again, and it set at the table nicely for the 2 world title matches at No Way Out. And these 2 world title matches and the Big Show Cena cage match tomorrow night are definitely going to be the 3 selling points and highlights for tomorrow night's show, so no question about it.
Michael Bullock is all yours.
I agree with the rating, 3 stars, definitely the fight of the night, and like you said, definitely sets the table for the 2 world title matches tomorrow night at No Way Out, and I gotta agree, the 2 world title matches and that Cena Big Show match is definitely going to be the 3 best matches of the night, so I say we move on.
The second match of the night was Brodus Clay. He went 1-on-1 with Heath Slater, but after the fight, Brodus did win the match, but he got attacked by David A-List Otunga. And Anthony, your thoughts?
Worst fight, one of the worst fights of the night, absolute dud. You know how I am about Brodus Clay enhancement squash fights. The post-match attack was just sort of there. It didn't really, look anything vicious or anything. But the match will go on tomorrow night. Brodus Clay will just have a knee brace on. So, one of the worst fights of the night. But you know how I feel about it. Move on.
Michael?
Alright, typical Brodus Clay squash, but I love the post-match, like you said, it was just there, nothing too special, but like I said, dud fight, so let's just move on.
Alright guys, in the next fight in the night, it was Alicia Fox going 1-on-1 with Beth Phoenix. Beth Phoenix won this match very easily, building momentum as she will fight Layla tomorrow night for the Divas Championship. Layla was at ringside. She was actually doing commentary for that match. It's a home Diva fight. I'm sorry to say, nothing special about this one. I'm not going to call it a dud. I will call it maybe 1 star, to say the very least. And, Anthony, it's all yours.
Sorry, Mikey, I gotta call it a dud because it was over in 30 seconds, so I'm sorry to say. You were right, typical ho-hum diva fight, but I got a good feeling about the match tomorrow night with Layla and Beth Phoenix. I mean, we saw the great match they had at Over the Limit. I got a good feeling we're going to get another good one from them, so another one of the worst fights of the night. Absolute dud, 30 seconds. I mean, that's nothing, so let's just move on to Bullock.
All right, Michael, it's all yours.
Typical ho-hum diva fight, dud, move on.
Alright, next was a promo segment in the ring with John Laurinaitis. It was with the Big Show as well. Very good promo, I have to admit. This was very good, very strong from Big Show. Definitely selling himself, and has a great match with John Cena tomorrow night. Once again, a great job on the mic by the Big Show. We'll just have to wait and see what happens with the match tomorrow night. Of course, John Laurinaitis' job is on the line, and a little wrinkle added to it after, but we'll talk about that later in the night. Let's talk about this one, guys. Michael Bullock, it's all yours.
To me, in order with the non-wrestling, this was the second best segment of the night. Big Show was very good with the mic, guaranteeing that he was going to beat John Cena and have John Cena get fired. So good job by Big Show, and I'm so looking forward to this match tomorrow night at No Way Out. So second best segment of the night when it comes to promo.
Anthony?
Yeah, I agree. Big Show continuing some great heel work. I mean, I told both this behind the scenes last night. This is the best the Big Show has been booked in years. I mean, it's a lot like Dave Bautista a few years ago and a lot like Mark Henry last year. So if they can make Dave Bautista and Mark Henry look good, I mean, I think they can do the same thing with the Big Show here. So another very good heel promo segment, and it actually sets the table even more nicely for the match with Cena in the cage tomorrow night. So second best non-wrestling segment of the night. Good, another great effort from the Big.
All right, guys. From there, we went on to a one-on-one match. The Intercontinental Champion Christian went one-on-one with Jack Swagger. Christian wins the match via the Frog Splash. I gotta say this, guys. This is probably the 1A, 1B situation, because I also had to say this was a great match between these two men. Another 3-star fight. And I could say this is co-fight of the night. I'll even argue this is co-fight of the night. I thought this was a great match. The lack of time in the fight did not hurt at all, in my opinion. I thought this was a tremendous match. 3 stars in my book. Anthony, what did you think about Christian and Swagger?
Well wrestled match, but it was just a little too short for my liking. I mean, it didn't get as much time as we thought it would. I mean, I think the rating's a little too generous, but then again, you know, I do agree it was a solid wrestled match, so I can't quite give it 3. I will give it about 2.25, 2.5 because of the short time. But then to do what they did in that short amount of time, I mean, you got to commend them for it. And you remember they had a great program in ECW a few years ago for the ECW title. I mean, you saw the match they had in Providence, like at the Backlash pay-per-view for the ECW title, which you said was one of the fights of the night that night. Of course, it was a much longer fight than this one was, but anyway, another great match with these two. I'll give it about 2.25, maybe 2.5 because of the short time. Had it been longer, then it would have been 3, but good effort all around. 2.25, 2.5, second best fight of the night for me.
Michael Bullock?
Yeah, and this was a well-wrestled match between these two. I'm going to go 2 3/4 of a star on this. Like you said, I mean, if they'd gone a little bit longer, or if they had done it without the commercial, I would have given it 3 stars. Very well-wrestled match between these two. I mean, I definitely love the way these two guys wrestle. So 2 3/4 of a star for me.
All right, guys. It led to the next fight of the night. It's Ryback time. Ryback went 2-on-1, a handicap match against Artie Cohen and Mike Testa are the guys' names. You know what? It's a squash fight. It was, the third squash of the night. Not good at all. I mean, this is a throwaway fight. This gets -5 stars in my book. Probably the worst fight of the night. Michael Bullock, it's all yours.
Oh my God. Typical Ryback squash. I'm getting sick of this. D-U-D. Pointless. unnecessary, unacceptable. When are we going to get some real competition for Ryback? When are we going to get it? I'm getting sick and tired of these old Ryback squash matches that we get week after week after week after week. Total dud. I got nothing more to say. Boyle, it's yours.
Anthony?
I'm right in the same boat with you. I mean, if you didn't see the Wrestling Forum last Monday night, I had the piece of paper with the Sharpie, and I wrote, we're not going to take any more of these enhancement fights. You know how I feel about it. So I'm not even going to bore you folks with that sentiment. So I'll sum it up. Dud, pointless, unnecessary, unacceptable, and now the newest word that Derek Pereira adds to it, inexcusable. So let's just move on.
Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, boys, but we had another one of these type of fights. Damian Sandow went one-on-one with Tyson Kidd. Sandow wins the match. Look, disappointing to say the very least. They didn't give this any time whatsoever. You know what? I'm going to be real generous here, and I'm only going to give it a quarter star. This is not a dud, in my opinion, guys. Anthony, it's all yours.
Yeah, I do agree with you, Fletch. Quarter star. We're definitely being generous here. I mean, it was teetering on dud status. But, Tyson Kidd actually hung with him for a little bit, and there was some okay wrestling, not really all that great. But all in all, it was another ho-hum enhancement fight. So quarter star, another one of the worst fights of the night. Bullock, it's yours.
Sorry, guys. You know how I feel when it comes to enhancement matches. To me, I'm going to pull the trigger. I'm going to give it a dud. I really wasn't feeling this at all. So, again, another pointless, unnecessary, unacceptable enhancement match. So let's just move on.
All right, and at the end of the night, it was actually a promo segment. John Cena comes out, cuts a good promo at the end, interrupted by John Laurinaitis, and then Johnny Ace drops a nuke on John Cena. He basically said that if Cena does not beat the Big Show at No Way Out Monday night on Raw the next night, Cena will be fired by John Laurinaitis. Fellas, take this one for a spin. Anthony, start.
Another very good segment, third best non-wrestling segment of the night. Very good promo by Cena, and Laurinaitis dropping the bomb here. Well, they have to do something. I mean, we know how big of a rut they're in right now with all their big name stars either retired, suspended, or injured. And, so they have to do something to hype up the pay-per-view and this fight in particular. And doing this is exactly what the doctor ordered here. So I like the move. I mean, it makes the match, it makes us actually more excitable for this fight. And because someone's going to go either way. Could Cena go? Could Laurinaitis go? It doesn't matter. But all I can say is very good segment. Nice way to close what was, I thought, a rather average show. And I know we'll get into that in a short. So move on.
Yes, we will. Michael, it's all yours.
Yeah, in terms of non-wrestling, this was definitely the third best segment of the night. I always love John Cena when he has the microphone, and then John Laurinaitis dropping the bombshell on everyone, saying that if Cena loses to the Big Show, he will be fired. And then we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But this definitely makes this Cena Big Show match even more interesting now. So a good segment to close the show.
All right, guys, and what were your overall thoughts about the Friday Night Smackdown? I'm going to start with Michael Bullock.
I'm gonna give it. Because we had the Christian Jack Swagger match, which I thought was pretty good in the tag team match, and the three best promo segments. I was going to give it a 4, but I'm going to give it thumbs in the middle. I'm going to give it 5 because of all the enhancement fights that we got in this. So 5 out of 10 for me. Thumbs in the middle.
Okay, Anthony, your thoughts?
I'm going to give it a thumb slightly down. I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 10, mainly because of the enhancement fights and the dud fights, of course. The tag team match, of course, the fight of the night far and away. Christian and Swagger, I'm giving that half a point only because of the short time limit. And the 3 promo segments were all very well done. So 3, 1, and then a half. So that's 4.5 altogether. So I'm going to give it 4.5 out of 10, a thumb slightly down. Another average, mediocre edition of SmackDown as usual.
All right, and I will give it, I'm actually agreeing with Michael Bullock. I'm going to give it 5 stars. I thought this was thumbs in the middle. There was some good moments there. Yes, there was a great, the promo segments, especially the one at the beginning of the show, really set the tempo. I really thought the first half an hour of the show was absolutely flawless. And unfortunately, WWE dropped the ball after that. They try to recover with Jack Swagger and Christian, but they basically the train literally went off the tracks until the very end of the night, where John Cena's promo, where John Laurinaitis dropped the nuke on Cena that if he loses, he will be fired on Monday Night Raw the next night. All right. Now we gotta switch gears to No Way Out. Tomorrow night, live on pay-per-view from the Ion Center in East Rutherford, New Jersey, as it will be No Way Out making its return to pay-per-view. It's been gone for a couple of years. Now it's coming back. And now we got ourselves a very decent card, so let's run it down one by one. We start off with the YouTube pre-show fight. Brodus Clay to go one-on-one with David Otunga. Michael Bullock, I'm going to let you start. Who do you think wins and why?
To me, it all depends on the condition of Brodus Clay. We know he's going to wrestle, and he's going to have that knee brace. How effective will he be? That remains to be seen. But somehow I get a bad feeling that I think David Otunga is going to win this because of that, of the knee of Brodus Clay. But it's going to be, to me, one of the second worst fights of the night. So I'm going to go with David Otunga winning this.
Anthony?
I gotta go with Brodus Clay in this one. I think it's just an injury angle. I mean, I think it's just sort of a worked angle here. This fight's not going to be really any good. It's probably going to be one of the worst fights of the night. We're looking at a 1-star fight at best, so we'll see what happens. But I gotta go with the Funkasaurus to win this one going away.
I gotta say, and I have to agree with you, Anthony. I'm sorry, Michael. I gotta disagree with you. I think Brodus Clay will win this one. I just think it's not going to be that enjoyable, to say the very least. Normally these YouTube fights normally range between 5 and 7 minutes, and I think that's what we're going to get tomorrow night as well. And it's just a complete and utter mismatch, to say the very least. I think Brodus Clay will have no problems with David Otunga despite the knee injury. Alright guys, and then I can't believe I'm about to say this because this just got added to the card, but here it goes. Ricardo Rodriguez versus Santino Marella in a tuxedo match. Good Lord. Are you kidding me, WWE? You could not find any other reasonable matches to put on this card. You had to put this one on. I guess if we're going to have to predict a winner, I got to go with Santino. Worst fight of the night. I'm dreading this fight, guys. I there's no doubt about it. This is a dread fight. Stay away from this fight. Anthony, it's yours.
I told Bullock this last night behind the scenes after Strictly Sports last night. We talked about this match a little bit, and I'm going to tell you what I told him. And Bullock, I want you to back me up on this, because I told you this last night. Remember this. You're a witness here, what I'm about to say. This fight right here is going to make the John Cena and John Laurinaitis match from Over the Limit look like the freaking end of an era. Let's not kid ourselves. I mean, this has Judd written all over it. I mean, we haven't seen this since the days of Howard Finkel and Harvey Whippleman back in 94, 95. I mean, that was dreadful. This is going to be even worse. I mean, I rather would have seen Santino defend the U.S. title against a viable challenger. That's what I rather would have seen instead of this. I mean, heck, I rather would have seen a Ryback squash, or I'd even rather see a Sin Cara match, in all honesty. But this is not the way to go. This is going to be a minus 5 stars. We could be looking at the worst fight in the history of pay-per-view, boys. Nothing else to say. But since I have to pick a winner, Santino wins easy. Richardo had no chance in heck. I mean, I know he's a good wrestler in FCW, but make him that same wrestler in WWE, please, instead of this comedic goofball. We have enough of those guys running around anyway. So Santino wins, worst fight in pay-per-view history, minus 5 stars, dud. So, let's move on.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to back you up on that, Anthony. So, I got to say, what was WWE thinking putting this on the pay-per-view card? Pointless, it's unnecessary, it's unacceptable. But, like you said, I got to make a prediction. Santino Marella is going to win this. I got worst pay-per-view fight in WWE history. I'm going to say it right down the middle. God, it's going to be, I don't know why they would even put this on the pay-per-view. I mean, that's why I said that enhancement matches need to be only on NXT or Superstars, not Raw, not Smackdown, and most certainly not on a pay-per-view. That's just my 2 cents on it.
Well, I will rest assure you guys, the remaining fights of the night are not going to be enhancement matches, because the next match that we're going to have is for the Divas Championship. The reigning champion, Layla, the British Beauty from Miami, Florida, will put her title on the line against the Glamazon, the rough, rugged, tough, you-know-what, from Buffalo, New York. Guys, we saw it last month on pay-per-view, how they absolutely surprised us, gave us a very good match, to say the very least. In my opinion, I think Layla will successfully defend the title here. What is your feelings about that match? What do you think about this match? I'm gonna give it to Michael Bullock.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you there. I'm gonna say Layla retains the title. She's gonna somehow gonna pull this one out. I mean, Beth Phoenix is definitely gonna give her a run for her money, but I think in the end, Layla's gonna pull this one out and retain the Divas title. So, Anthony, it's yours.
Yeah, I gotta go with Layla in this one too. She's held the title for a while. I think they want to give her a little more run with it. I mean, if Beth wins, who are they gonna have her go up against? That's the big question. I mean, this is right now a time where WWE really needs to, start calling up some divas from the FCW roster, because their roster on the diva end is also depleted as well. With the Bellas leaving and what's going on with Kelly, and I don't know any others. I mean, you have Maxine, I know Rosa Mendez, if they ever want to have her wrestle, but I don't know what's going on with that. But as far as this fight's concerned, I think it's going to be just as good as the Over the Limit fight, but at the end of the day, the British Beauty from Miami, Florida, one of Michael Fletcher's favorite all-time divas, wins this fight, so move on.
All right, guys, and then we have a match for the Intercontinental Championship. Cody Rhodes will challenge the reigning and defending Intercontinental Champion, Christian. And Anthony, I'm going to give it to you. What's your feelings about this match?
Well, my feelings on this match, Michael Fletcher, are very simple. This is going to be, without question, a sleeper fight of the night. We're looking at 3.5 stars. I mean, these two guys are very good wrestlers. The match they had was only a 2.25 star match, but I think since they're going to have more time this time around, which I think they're going to have, I'll tell you, man, I'm looking very forward to this fight, and wow, but at the end of the day, I gotta go with Captain Charisma. I gotta go with Christian to win this match, successfully defend the Intercontinental Championship. Have him be a transitional champion would be definitely pointless, unnecessary, and unacceptable. At least give him a little bit of a run with it for about a month or two, and then who knows, maybe have him go in a world title program again. You never know. But for right now, Christian wins this match. It's going to be the sleeper fight of the night because of the other 3 main events. So we're looking at a good 3.5 stars if all goes well. So Christian retains. Move on.
All right, you know what? I'm going to jump in on this, guys. I think this will be maybe the second best fight of the night. I could even say maybe the third best fight of the night, because I think there's two matches here that's actually going to tear the house down even bigger. But I agree with you, Anthony. Christian is on a roll. I think this is the perfect opportunity for him to really put himself in a great spot back in the upper mid card. I think he will not only win this match, he will successfully defend the title. I say Christian will win this fight and successfully defend the Intercontinental Championship. Michael Bullock, I'm going to go to you.
All right, I'm going to say this will definitely be the sleeper fight of the night as well. Could be a good 3.5 stars. I'm going to go with Captain Charisma Christian to retain the Intercontinental title. But, I mean, like I said, I think for them to take the title away from him, I mean, I want him to have a good run with the Intercontinental title. But if they take it away from him, it will definitely be pointless, unnecessary, unacceptable, and as Guerrero would say, inexcusable as well. So, Christian will retain the Intercontinental title.
All right, guys, and then we shift our gears to the fight for the heavyweight championship of the world. Dolph Ziggler, Dolph Ziggler himself will get an opportunity to fight as he takes on the world heavyweight champion, the greatweight Sheamus. Now for a lot of you people here, if you're watching this for the first time, let me break it down to you why this happened. Originally, this was supposed to be Alberto Del Rio versus Sheamus. Alberto Del Rio suffered a concussion in a house show. He was knocked out of the fight. Dolph Ziggler won a fatal four-way match on Monday Night Raw about a couple of weeks ago, and this is where now the opportunity of a lifetime for Dolph Ziggler is now elevated. For a lot of the IWC fans, this is a moment for us because we wanted to see a big guy like Dolph Ziggler get an opportunity for a championship match. He does get it here. However, he's going up against a man who's been on an absolute roll right now in 2012. Ever since winning the Royal Rumble this year, to me right now, I think Sheamus, in my opinion, if he keeps doing what he's doing, I gotta call him Superstar of the Year up to this point. So at the end of the day, I think Sheamus will win the match. He will successfully defend the World Heavyweight title. Anthony, I toss it to you.
Well, I don't know if you heard me say this on the last edition of the Wrestling Forum Monday night, but I think, in all honesty, this has the potential to be the fight of the night. All I can say is we know what Dolph Ziggler is capable of, and I said it earlier when we did our SmackDown review, and Fletcher, you know this from many conversations we've had in years past. You know how I feel about fresh faces in the main event scene, and this is the best breath of fresh air in the main event division I've seen in quite some time. And Dolph Ziggler, he's a damn good wrestler, and he is going to give Sheamus fits tomorrow night. And I'm going to go on and say it. This has the potential to be the fight of the night. We could be looking at 4 stars if all goes well. I mean, because we saw what happened at Over the Limit with Daniel Bryan and Sheamus. They had a 4-star fight, which was absolutely awesome. And I got a good feeling this one could be a 3.5 to 4-star fight easy because of what these two guys are capable of. This has the potential to be one of the best world title matches on pay-per-view in quite a while. And this is one fight I'm definitely looking forward to. At the end of the day, I mean, I would love to see Ziggler win the belt, I'll be honest with you. But at the end of the day, I have to go with my gut, and I got to go with Sheamus to retain. I don't think they're done with him with holding that belt yet. You never know. They could still be planting the seeds for a program with him and Randy Orton at SummerSlam, even though Orton's still suspended. But I think he'll be back in time for SummerSlam. But all I can say is I think this could be the fight of the night for me. But we have to wait and see how the other two fights go. But at the end of the day, Sheamus retains. I think it would be too soon to take the belt off him, especially after how he won it at Mania. So Sheamus retains, but Ziggler's gonna look damn good in defeat. That's all I can say. It's gonna be a 3.5 to 4-star fight. So move on.
Michael Bullock.
Yeah, good that Dolph Ziggler is getting his chance in the main event, a chance for the World Heavyweight Championship. Like you said, it's good to see that we're getting a fresh face in the main event. But I think Ziggler will give Sheamus a run for his money. But at the end of the day, like you said, I'm going to make you hammer, boys. I'm going to go with Sheamus retaining the World Heavyweight title. I mean, with the role he's on right now, I think it would be very tough to take that title away from him. So Sheamus retains the title.
Alright guys, and now we're going to get into the match, a triple threat match for the WWE Championship. Daniel Bryan, Kane, and the WWE Champion himself, CM Punk. Anthony Florio, it's all yours.
Wow. I mean, this is going to be another great match. This has the potential to be one of the best triple threat title matches we've seen in a while. We know how great CM Punk is. We know how great Daniel Bryan is. And heck, we got to throw it up for Kane. I mean, you guys have seen over the last couple of years, they've actually been booking Kane so well. I mean, remember, he had a run with the World Heavyweight Championship 2 years ago, and he held it for 5 months, which is a very long time. It was a lot longer than I initially expected him to hold it. But story for another day. But anyways, all I can say right now is there is only one wild card in this match, and you know who that wild card is. AJ. What else is there to say? I mean, the only thing I have to say is I got a weird feeling there's going to be I got a bad feeling we're going to have some weird overbooked finish here, a la TNA, mainly because of AJ's involvement. And I mean, it's very tough to call, but I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to eliminate Kane. I don't think they're going to push Kane this well yet. So it comes down to Punk and Bryan. Punk's held the title since Survivor Series in November. I mean, he is the best thing going in WWE, just like Bobby Roode is the best thing going in TNA today, as we all know. So, but at the end of the day, I got this weird feeling that Daniel Bryan is going to become the new WWE champion, and he's going to get the fall on Kane. He's not going to pin Punk. He's going to get the fall on Kane, and I think we're going to get a Punk and Bryan rematch, maybe at Money in the Bank, most likely at Money in the Bank. I could see another screwy finish there, which could then set up what could be the match that surpasses End of an Era from WrestleMania for Fight of the Year. If we get Punk and Bryan one-on-one at SummerSlam, we could be looking at a 5-star instant classic that we'll be talking about for many, many years to come. That's all I have to say about that. So with that said, I'm going to take a chance. Daniel Bryan, the new WWE champion, he gets the fall on Kane, and expect a great series of matches with Bryan and Punk from Money in the Bank through this summer, boys. And if that's the case, buckle your seatbelts, boys. We're going to be for a very bumpy ride. We're going to have a lot of fun watching. So Bryan wins the belt. He gets the fall on Kane.
All right, Michael Bullock, what do you say?
Oh boy, like you said, I think this is going to be one of the best triple threat matches we have seen in a while. It's tough for me to make a call on this one, because we've seen some crazy things happen in the past 2-3 weeks with these three. Something tells me, my gut tells me that I think Kane is going to win this fight because AJ's going to have a little bit of a role in it, but you know what? I'm going to take my chance. I say the big red monster, Kane, because of something that goes on with AJ. I think he's going to help out, and I think Kane will become the new WWE champion. But I'll tell you what, I hope I'm wrong and that CM Punk retains the title, but I got this real feeling in me that I think Kane will walk out of here with the WWE championship.
Wow, I'm actually dumbfounded for the first time ever that I can ever think of three panelists, 3 different opinions. Anthony going with Daniel Bryan, Michael Bullock going with Kane. I am indeed going with CM Punk. I think Punk will pin Kane to win the belt. I just think CM Punk has just done so much and has been in so many battles, so many wars that, he's just one of those guys that you just don't he just keeps winning and winning and winning. He won the title at the Survivor Series back in Madison Square Garden over Alberto Del Rio, and he has not relinquished that belt since. And I think this is just going to be a hard-fought victory for him. Will AJ get involved at the end of this fight? It remains to be seen. I mean, up to this point, we didn't have AJ interfere in the first 2 times we thought she was gonna. The third time, it looks like it probably will be the charm. But CM Punk has rose above this many times before. I think he will do it one more time. CM Punk will win the match and successfully defend the WWE Championship as he pins the Big Red Monster Kane. Alright, on to the main event. John Cena versus the Big Show in a steel cage. If Big Show loses, John Laurinaitis will be fired. If John Cena loses, he will be fired. John Laurinaitis will be at ringside. And oh, by the way, the chairman of the board, Mr. Vincent Kennedy McMahon Jr., will also be at ringside as well to observe the match. Alright, guys, I'm just going to go out and say it. Cena wins. I think this is going to be one of those crazy finishes where Cena, this might be a la St. Valentine's Day Massacre, where the cage gets broken and Cena some way, somehow finds his way on the ground outside the ring and he wins the fight. That's just my personal prediction about it. Michael Bullock, I give it to you. Who do you think wins this?
Well, I think this is going to be a really good fight, a really good steel cage match. The stakes so much high for this. And I wouldn't be surprised if John Laurinaitis and Mr. McMahon somehow get involved in it, but I think it's going to be in the outside. I got to go with Cena. To win this one. I mean, I'm going to say this right now. If they allow the Big Show to win this match and Cena gets fired, you're going to get a bullet grant right after the review of No Way Out tomorrow night, because you've always lost 3 superstars, 2 of them to suspension and 1 because of an injury, and you lose another big name superstar because he's getting fired. That's not going to sit well with me or anybody else. So you're going to definitely hear a bullet grant if that happens. So I got to go with Cena to win this.
All right, Anthony Florio, it's all yours.
All right. Here's how I feel about it. Before the stipulation with Cena being fired was thrown in, I was going to go with the Big Show to win because John Laurinaitis is the freshest heel authority figure we have seen in a long time, and the heat this guy gets is absolutely astronomical. I mean, I think he gets more heat than Vicky Guerrero, in all honesty. I mean, heck, I can even go back to the days of Eric Bischoff when he was running the show. We all remember how big of a knock he was when he was running the show. But anywho, now that the stipulation that Cena gets fired if he loses has been thrown in the mix, I'm going to have to make it unanimous. I'm going to go with John Cena to win this fight. I got this weird feeling, boys. We're going to see, yet again, the Super Cena routine. You know it. You love it. A lot of people hate it. And this is one of the main reasons why people hate John Cena, is why he's got the most haters than anybody in the WWE. I mean, you could say he's the LeBron James of WWE. I mean, he gets so much hate, and that's why. So, I'll be there in a minute. Just gotta let you know, I think it's gonna be a solid match. I think it's gonna be a 3-star fight at best. But at the end of the day, John Cena wins the fight, and get ready for John Laurinaitis to hear those 2 words. Nothing else to say. So, where they go from here, you never know. Ric Flair could come in. They could bring Ric Flair in as a GM. Maybe Mick Foley could make a return. Or heck, you could even bring back Edge. Maybe you could put Edge in as a general manager because he's retired from wrestling. You never know. But at the end of the day, Cena wins the fight, so let's move on.
All right, guys. Now, give me your overall thoughts. What's your expectations for tomorrow night's show? Anthony, I'm going to go with you.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to order the pay-per-view because I'm not convinced. But I will say this: I think it's going to be a decent show. There's going to be a lot of good matches. Of course, the only match that I'm definitely not looking forward to, of course, Santino Marella and Richardo Rodriguez. We actually forgot to mention something. Don't forget, Triple H is also going to be there tomorrow night to mention about Brock Lesnar and everything else. So, and I could see that, maybe starting the show. Or you could put that in to give the fans a breather after an awesome fight, like they obviously do, a la Booking 101 in WWE. So, all in all, with that, I think it's going to be a middle-of-the-road show. It just depends on the matches. I think it could be maybe around a 7.5 out of 10, maybe a little lower, like 6 or something at worst, but it just depends on the quality of the fight. That's all I have to say. Right now, it's a thumbs in the middle for me, so we'll have to wait and see.
All right, Michael Bullock, give me your final thoughts and what your expectations are for tomorrow night's No Way Out.
Well, I'm going to be next door over at my grandmother's house watching the pay-per-view with my uncle. I'm expecting this could be a very good pay-per-view. Nothing special. I'm hoping for a 7 out of 10 for this overall pay-per-view, because you got Cena, Big Show, the 2 world title matches as the fights of the night. I mean, even the Christian Cody Rhodes match could be the sleeper fight of the night. But the one match I'm not looking forward to is, Anthony already mentioned, Santino Marella and Richardo Rodriguez. So I'm gonna say I'm predicting a 7 out of 10 show.
All right, guys. My feeling is this. Yes, I'm not looking forward to Richardo Rodriguez versus Santino Marella. I can agree with that. However, the Triple H promo, Anthony alluded to it, on Brock Lesnar could be a very good segment. Nice filler and whatnot. The expectations are not as high this time around for Beth Phoenix and for Layla. You know what? They really did such a good job in the pay-per-view last month at Over the Limit that the expectations, I just don't believe they're going to deliver again. Christian and Cody Rhodes is a sleeper fight. I mean, this could be a tremendous match for the Intercontinental title. I mean, this could be a 3.25 star fight. Of course, the 2 world title fights, Sheamus and Dolph Ziggler, and the triple threat could be absolutely phenomenal. But of course, everybody is going to be talking about John Cena versus Big Show. That most likely and probably will be the main event tomorrow night. Inside the steel cage. Overall, I gotta say maybe a 6.5, maybe teetering on a 7. Definitely not gonna buy this on pay-per-view, but we will hope we're hoping for the best. That's all I was gonna say about that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. We are all set for the evening. Tomorrow night at 11 o'clock Eastern, Derek Ferrera will join us, and all 4 of us will recap No Way Out live on pay-per-view. So, for Anthony Florio and Michael Bullock, I'm Michael Fletcher. You know the routine, everybody. Hunt the hand pounds and have a good night, everybody. And we'll see you tomorrow night for our recap of the Wrestling Forum. You're watching Braves Fan 95 on YouTube.com. See ya.